Hey, this is Dr. Marie Snyder, and today I want to talk about inflammation because for many of us, inflammation can be our worst enemy. Now, normally under circumstances, inflammation is great. If we get a cut, we have inflammation. If we are dealing with a pathogen or some type of cold, the immune system comes out, brings out the troops, and handles business, and that's a normal inflammatory process. It's when inflammation is out of control due to the foods that we're eating, the stress that we're dealing with, even the chemicals that we put on our bodies or that we're consuming every day can begin to add up and stack the deck against us, especially when it comes to our gut health. So I have a new episode today where we're talking about which foods trigger gut issues and belly fat. But in order to really get clear about how we can know if we're dealing with inflammation, I have a quick little assessment I would love to do with you. Now, I love to do assessments because it gives a lot of clarity as to what is going on with our bodies, especially when we're dealing with a ton of different symptoms that just simply don't add up. Like the dots aren't getting connected. So what I'm going to do is I want to walk you through a little quick assessment. And what I want to know is if you're experiencing 2 or 3 or even more of these symptoms, then I highly recommend removing some of the inflammatory foods that I talk about in the episode that goes live today. And I can mention a couple of those at the end of this as well. And ensure that your body has that ability to basically restore, replenish, and begin to heal the way that it was designed to do. So it is assessment time. Let's get ready to tally it up. Here we go. Have you been struggling with stubborn belly fat? No sex drive anymore? You're feeling tired all the time, not just in the morning, but throughout the day. You're just not feeling like you can get through the day without an extra little something like caffeine or sugar. Unexpected anxiety and mood swings. Inability to fall asleep most nights. Lack of focus or unable to concentrate, so brain fog. Uncontrollable sugar cravings. Gas, bloating, even constipation. Headaches and migraines. Skin issues like eczema, rashes and breakouts, recurring infections, things like candida, colds, or maybe even recurring yeast infections. Allergies play a huge role here. Joint pain and swelling, especially like your fingers or your back or your knee or your hips. Swollen, tender breast or even fibrocystic breast often leads from estrogen dominance that is connected to gut issues, and irregular periods. Now, I want you to quickly tally up, and if you have to go back, by all means do so. But if you did answer yes to 2 or more of these signs, well, then you are in the right place. This new episode today is exactly where you need to be. Your body is definitely needing to remove some of those inflammatory foods and to begin to start that healing process. Now, people ask me all the time, well, which foods light me up? Like, which foods should I be concerned with? And foods I always tell people to get rid of are things like gluten, grains, corn, dairy, clearly processed sugar and sugar substitutes, processed meats, and just anything processed in general. But also dairy is on that list as well. Caffeine is on that list. Alcohol is on that list. Sometimes you just need to do a major reset so that you can begin to heal that gut, begin to quell the inflammation. So a lot of those signs and symptoms that I just mentioned a second ago can begin to start eradicating. I think one of my favorite things about getting clarity if you're dealing with inflammation or not is that there's really simple things that you can do to get your body back on track. And that's exactly what this episode is about. So this episode is called The Truth Behind Which Foods Trigger Inflammation in Belly Fat, because belly fat is a symptom of inflammation in the body. And we also know that belly fat, especially visceral belly fat, can actually lead to more inflammation down the road. So as I mentioned, there's a lot of things that we can do. I share all the nitty-gritty details in this new episode, which you got to check out. But at the very least, you're walking away from this little mini video knowing that it's all interconnected and that there's something you can do about it.